Dear children, welcome to the class. I am your English teacher. Today we will enjoy a very old fable through a poem, The Ant and the Cricket, prescribed in your syllabus, in your textbook, Honey Dew. So, whenever we think about future, can we be certain? No, we cannot. We can never foretell it. We can't predict anything. So, we should be proactive and we should have proper planning for it so that we can have a secured future. So, children, I have used a word fable. So, what is a fable? Let's see. What do we find in a fable? Animals that act like people. It is generally set in outside environment. It has 2 or 3 characters. It has a character with weakness. It has a villain. It has a hero. And finally, the main motive of the story, it has a moral. So, what can be the characteristics of a fable? It is a brief story. Its main characters are usually animals. Its one character usually has a bad trait that leads to his or her downfall. It usually teaches a lesson. Sometimes it can be funny. It doesn't have more than 2 or 3 characters and it is written to entertain the reader. So, we can summarize these characteristics in the form of definition. So, the definition of a fable is a short story in which animals behave like humans and convey a message. It aims to highlight human follies and weaknesses and that incorporates a moral that is often explicitly formulated at the end of the story. The Ant and the Cricket. It has been adapted from the Aesop's fables, which are thought to have been created near about 4th century BC by a Greek writer Aesop. God says, share your riches with those who are in need, but not with them who while away their time and have an idle life to lead. Why doesn't the ant help the cricket? So we'll read and find out. Now, your poem, The Ant and the Cricket. See these pictures. What the cricket is doing and what the ant is doing. Cricket, it is amusing itself, and the ant, it is toiling hard. The ant is toiling hard to gather the food for the time of scarcity, for the time of winters when there will be scarcity of food. And the cricket, it is enjoying a beautiful weather. Now, your poem. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring. Silly, foolish, accustomed to, used to, gay, beautiful. Spring is the season of flowers. Spring is the season of happiness. In the spring season, there is abundance of food and everybody has a lighter heart. So, the ant is utilizing that season and because the food is in abundance, so it is storing the food for the time of scarcity. While the cricket, it is just spoiling the time. Silly, foolish, cricket, a jumping insect, accustomed, used, sunny, warm, gay, happy, spring, the season of flowers. Now it's the time to check what are the 2 qualities of the cricket have been described here. Foolish and a singer. What does accustomed to mean here? It means used to. Began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? Now see in the pictures, it is snow everywhere. So it is snow everywhere. It shows that it is the season of severe winter. And it is snow everywhere. There are no flowers, there are no leaves. So the cricket, it doesn't have anything to eat. Now see what cricket is doing. It's regretting. It's regretting for what? For its carelessness during the season of abundance. During the season of spring, it didn't store anything for the time of scarcity. Crumb. Crumb is piece of any eatable. Snow-covered ground, it shows that it was the season of severe winter. Word meanings: crumb, piece of any eatable. Now it's the time to check. What does the phrase snow-covered indicate in the poem? It indicates that it was winter. What was the cricket worried about? The cricket was worried about the scarcity of the food. What did the cricket usually do? The cricket usually sang. Who was looking for the crumbs? The cricket was looking for the crumbs. At last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant to see if to keep him alive he would grant him shelter from rain and mouthful of grain he wished to borrow he would repay tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. So now what is happening? The cricket, now it's about to die of starvation and famine. Starvation is dying of hunger, dying due to lack of nutrition. And famine, it is drought, when there is nothing to eat, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. Now the rains in winter season. So it is making the cricket to shiver. Miserly ant. Miserly ant means miserly is one who cannot spend liberally. The ant had stored for itself, so it was not willing to give it to the cricket. But cricket had a hope, so it approached to the ant so that he can have shelter from the rain, it can have refuge from the rain and a mouthful of grain. Very small quantity of grain. It was looking that if an ant can give a small quantity of grain so that it can lead its life and must not die of starvation and sorrow. Though the cricket was willing to borrow, and he promised that he would repay as soon as it gets anything. Word meanings: starvation, severe suffering due to lack of nutrition. Famine, drought, dripping, flowing down, trembling, shivering, set off, left for somewhere, miserly, conscious with money, shelter, refuge, mouthful, small quantity. Now it's the time to check. What does the phrase set off mean? Set off means went away. He wished only to borrow. Who is he in the line? A cricket. What made the cricket bold? Acute hunger. Who was starving? Cricket. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not. Now see in the picture. What ant and cricket are doing? Yes, cricket is begging. Begging for what? Begging for a handful of grains. Why? Because it hadn't stored anything for the time of scarcity. Now, What ant has done? Ant has refused to give. And ant is asking the cricket that why didn't the cricket store anything for the time of scarcity? Word meanings: lend, to give a loan; borrow, to take loan; lay by, save or store. Quoth said. What quality of the ant is revealed in the line, I am your servant and friend? Humility. What do the ants not do according to the passage? Neither borrow nor lend. What was the cricket's fault? He did not store any food in summer. What does the phrase lay by in the above stanza mean? It means to save or store. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sing, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Now ant is reminding the cricket that what the cricket said that his heart was lighter in the season of spring. So it kept on singing and enjoying all the day and all the night because the nature was beautiful at that time. Now the ant scolds the cricket away and tell him to go away and now enjoy the winter season also as it did in the summer. Word meanings: light, in a cheerful mood; gay, happy; dance the winter away; go and spend your entire winter period in dancing. Now it's the time to check that I sang day and night. Who does I stand for? Cricket. What does the expression my heart was so light means? Means that cricket was in cheerful mood. How did the ant respond to the cricket? Ant disappointed him. What does the word gay here means? It means happy. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and so out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Fox call it a fable, I will warrant it true, but some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. So what the ant did, it quickly lifted the wicket, a small door, and turned away the poor little cricket. Fox, it means people here. So people call it a fable, a untrue story. But the poet is saying that it is true. It is true because there are certain human beings who never carefully plan their future and they regret at the end and they repent at the end, but that is of no use. So some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Some have 2 means human beings. So here the poet is comparing the human beings with the character of cricket. How the cricket was careless, there are certain people who are careless in the same manner. Word meanings: hastily, in a hurry; fox, people; warrant, justify in a particular situation; lifted, here it means closed; wicket, small door. Who turned out and whom? The ant turned the cricket out. What does the poet mean when he says that some crickets have 2 legs? The poet is referring to people who do not save for the time of scarcity. What does the word fable here means? It means a story with a moral. Now, it's the time to see figures of speech used in the poem. Personification. Personification is when human characteristics are given to animals or non-living things. So, in the poem, the ant and the cricket. The ant and the cricket both have been personified as humans as they are talking and thinking like humans. Other figure of speech is metaphor. In metaphor, there is comparison of two things. So in the last line, some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Here, the poet compares lazy and careless people with the cricket. Now comes moral of the poem. Moral of the poem is that one should be prepared for the adverse times and always work hard instead of being negligent. Careful planning is essential for everyone that because it ensures a secured future. Now it's the time for textbook question. The cricket says, "Oh, what will become of me?" When does he say it and why? The cricket speaks these words when in his home he finds no food to eat in winter. Find in the poem the lines that mean the same as "Neither a borrower nor a lender be." Shakespeare. The line is, "But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend." What is your opinion of the ants' principles? The ants' principle is not bad. It teaches a lesson to everybody to plan for the rainy day. Now question number 3. The ant tells the cricket to dance the winter away. Do you think the word dance is appropriate here? If so, why? The word dance here means merrymaking and wasting time. It is appropriate here. The irresponsible cricket does not deserve any sympathy. Question number 4. Which lines in the poem express the poet's comment? Read them aloud. The poet's comment is expressed in the last 2 lines. Fox called this a fable. I will warrant it true. Write the comment in your own words. People say that the story of the cricket and the ant is imaginary or a fable with a moral. But I think that the story is true and educative. Some people live only in the present. They spend what they earn and make merry, but they regret this habit later on. If you know a fable in your own language, narrate it to your classmates. Yes, if you know a fable, you have to write it in your notebook and you have to narrate it to your friends. This is your homework. And now the chapter is over. Thank you.